I could have slid there, but. Okay, so my topic today is between the tick and the tock, and I'll tell you where it came from. Have any of you ever heard the poem, The Dash, like at a funeral or something? You know, it's not the years you live, but it's what you do with the dash. And I was so impressed by a talk I heard just a few weeks ago that that's kind of what I based mine on. So it's titled Between the Tick and the Tock. If not in the moment, where do you propose to live? Nahama Yehuda, Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. In truth, we do not feel, do, think, or experience anything outside the now. All that happens is in the now moment. Nothing can happen outside it, yet we live unaware of this. Suffering needs time. It cannot survive in the now. Emmett Fox once said, "The art of life is to live in the present moment." And then, I refuse to be anxious about tomorrow or even the next minute. I know that God does provide for the fulfillment of His divine idea, and I am that divine idea. And that's from Prosperity Goodreads and the commentary by Charles Fillmore. Here, Fillmore emphasizes trust and faith in divine mind, God, as a way of anchoring us in the now. Anxiety about the future arises when we forget that divine supply is ever present and that we are part of that unfolding divine idea. The phrase, "I am that divine idea," points to the principle that we are not separate from God or from the infinite plan. We are part of the creative manifesting process. That realization helps free us from the burden of trying to manufacture results by our own limited effort. This is a common theme in Unity, the idea that we are co-workers with God, not separate petitioners forever waiting for external fulfillment. And here's what I wrote: a rare opportunity. I have spent so much time in my life ruminating on the past. When I finished that, I moved to the future. What I found is that in doing all that, I missed out on the moment. What I found is that when I am writing, I am only in the moment. When I am involved in a book, movie, or interesting conversation, I am in the moment. If I am listening to beautiful music, I am in the moment. Yet, so many times, when I am doing other things, I am in a different place. I am thinking about what I might want to eat, or who I need to call, or what I need to do when I go home, or when I leave home, or tomorrow. What am I missing here? If I am always in the future or the past, I am not living. Why? Because there is nothing but now. Take these three little letters. They make three powerful words. The word now can be now, own, or won. And here is my saying for the day. When you live in the now, you have already won because you own the present, and that is a gift. To repeat, Nahama Yehuda, if not in the moment, where do you propose to live? So when we begin to think about these things, sometimes it becomes difficult. You know, as we experience more and more in life, there are things that we experience that are pleasant. We like to go back and revisit them because they make us feel good. There are also times in our lives that have been traumatic. And I must say, I don't know that we want to visit them, but I find myself many times going back to that moment. And then I found I've started practicing that if I work at it and really think about it, I can take myself away from it. I can start concentrating on something else, or bringing myself to the now and saying, right here and right now, in this very moment, all is well. In this moment in time, I am okay. I am perfect, whole, and complete, exactly as God created me to be. So I noticed you have a big food drive going on right now. I mean, we have a lot of issues going on in our country. I'm not going to talk about politics, but just issues. People being hungry, people not going to be getting their food stamps in November, people losing health care. My son will probably be one of them because he said, Mom, there's no way I can pay double. He's already paying like $1,000 a month for a not good plan for him and his son, and it's going to go up to $2,000 a month. There's going to be a lot of people that are not going to be able to afford it. So what can we do about it? We cannot change the whole world, but we can. But we do it one person at a time. So I did a talk, and maybe I'll do it here sometime, and it was about moving to the penthouse. And one night I was thinking about getting stuck in the fray, like one of the Buddhist phrases, and I just love it. It's that pain is necessary, or pain happens, but suffering is basically a choice. And we can think about all the things that I was talking to a person from another country the other day. I think she was from Bulgaria. And she was telling me how difficult it was living there. And I said, oh, we're kind of facing a lot of things here too right now. And she said, yes, but nothing like where I was. And for me, I'm going, really? Because I've never lived in this country in all the time I've been in it, where I've seen it like it is now. And who was it who just said that about all people getting health care and a place to live? Was it you and something you read, Dee? And I am so with it. I mean, I believe that we are citizens of the now. We are citizens of the world. And that's what we have not learned yet. Go back to the beginning of the Bible. And, oh, by the way, if you do that, there's a wonderful book. I can't remember what his name was, but it was in one of the Unity classes. We used it for both Old Testament and New Testament. And it was the gentleman who wrote the book talked about how you could interpret the Bible in 3 different ways. You could take it literally, you could take it as some history and some story, or you could not take it at all. And what I loved about it was reading Old Testament and the New Testament. Number one, they're almost identical. I mean, really, if you look at the nuts and bolts of both of them. But what was interesting is that when Moses was bringing the Jews out of bondage from Egypt, and they still kept fighting, and God said, you know, if you would just do this, your path would be easy. But no, they had to build the Tower of Babel. And then God said, you know, if you stop fighting with this group, it would really be easy. But no, they fought with the Philistines, and I don't know, they all had teens at the ends of their names, so I don't remember all of them. But all I know, it was constant fighting, on and on and on and on. And I remember in that class specifically saying to my teacher, oh my gosh, nothing has changed. What is wrong with us? Have we not learned the lesson? I mean, look at our world. And there is fighting in all of these different pockets. Now we're dropping bombs on boats, and I mean, it just goes on and on and on. So now let's take it down to a microcosm. How many of you have been around here for a long time? Anybody a long, long time? So I guess there's never any dissension here where the board and maybe the minister and the congregants all get along perfectly, right? What? Well, I've been around many churches, and I want to tell you, our name is Unity. It's on my bracelet, Unity. So what does that mean? Maybe if we got it, we could live in the now. Unity doesn't mean it's all about my idea. Darn it. This was my idea. I wanted to build a ballroom right out there, and you guys said no. So I'm really mad. Or 3 of the board members disagreed with the other one, so they're not happy with the decision. One of the things we have to recognize in living in the now, we are living in the now, we are living in this country, in this world, in this place, right here and now. And I will be honest with you, sometimes I get a bit nervous about it, and at other times I go, okay, but wait, that song, Don't Worry, Be Happy, or all of the Proverbs, all of the Psalms, that God is holding us. God is in charge. And I have to assume that there is a reason beyond my knowledge about everything that's going on. But it doesn't mean that I can't do my part. That when I meet someone I don't like, and I'll be honest, I don't like everyone, but I love everyone. And when I say I don't like everyone, I may not like their actions. It was very interesting. I don't know if you all know much about Universal Unitarian, that particular faith. It's very interesting. It's not really a faith, it's really just a philosophy. But I speak in their venues also. And their first principle is that all humans are inherently worthy. And that's what I was talking about, because my talk on that day was inclusion. And here was my question to the audience, and you can answer it too. My question was, so how many of you love Hitler and Donald Trump? Can I see the hands here of all of you who love those two people? Where are the rest of the hands? Where are they? It doesn't exclude a single soul. Hitler, Trump, Putin, all of these, quote, what we have deemed as villains, they were given souls too by the same creator that created Mother Teresa. Now, do we like their actions? I find them abhorrible. Do I wish them harm? Never, never, because I'm not in charge. And see, we have to look at every little piece. Like, I love to listen to people that say, I'm pro-life. Do you believe in the death penalty? Absolutely. Well, that's kind of confusing. So you believe in life in the womb, but once the life is out, anything goes. No, that is not pro-life. We have to look at the details, and we are smart people. The people sitting in this room, how many of you were raised in Unity? Let me see the hands. I was going to say probably this lovely young man, because I can tell. How many of you were raised Catholic? How many were raised Lutheran? Any other Protestant faith? Or what? Christian faith, whatever. Okay. I was raised in the Jewish faith. So for all of us who are not still part of that. We're always part of our heritage. But for those of us who have expanded our ideas, I mean, do you realize they believe we've deserted them? I mean, I've had people tell me that, oh my gosh, you deserted the Jewish faith. I went, no, I didn't. I just expanded. I expanded from it. And that's what I want to do, is to keep on expanding. Because as we keep on expanding and growing, we find new ways. We find new ways to deal with things. So right now, we know a lot of people are going to be hungry. So we start bringing food. We start bringing more here, more to our local food pantries. We might drop clothes off to clothes drop-offs, not even Salvation Army or some of those because they sell them, but to places where they will give them away for free. So there are things that we can do. You know, we live in a country where up until now we still can protest. We can say, I don't like this. But we do it in a loving manner. You can be a member here and say, you know, I would prefer this over that, but you all voted for that, and I'm going to support what the majority wants. Because all of this unity, living in the moment, living in the present, living in peace, it begins with your family. I mean, if there are people in your family, a brother or a sister or a parent or a child, I mean, I see families that don't speak to each other. And I go, how in the world would we ever have peace on earth when we can't even have peace within our own community? I mean, do you realize if every person just became at peace with everyone in their own life, all the conflict would be gone? And then here's the other big piece that we're missing. All is well because I'm not hungry, right? I have a house. I have a nice, comfortable bed to sleep in, and heat and air conditioning. So why should I worry about you? It's none of my business. But it is my business. It's all of our business. Because if one person is hungry, it's not okay. It's not okay. So my question and my thought for you for the day is, how can I live in the now? How can I give the most of who I am to who needs it the most? How can I be a support to this world? How can I bring light into this world? You know, there's some people that walk into a room and they suck out the energy. Anybody ever been around anyone like that? To me, those are the ones that need the most love. Those are the ones that instead of stepping back from, we need to step towards. Because somebody said something at a meeting a few weeks ago, and I love the question, and now I ask it, not to them, just to myself. What happened to you to make you like this? Because we know that somewhere in someone's life, something happened to cause them to be the way we are. And it doesn't mean that we can change. So what I wanted to say about coming from the different religions is, I know, and I don't want to make it sound arrogant, but the people who are seekers, they're the smart ones. Because in so many of the faiths, you ask someone a question, why do you do this? Oh, well, because they told me to. Or it says it in the Bible. Like I asked a friend of mine, we were riding somewhere one day, and I said, do you believe that Noah really built this huge ark? I mean, think about it. I mean, what kind of tools did he have? And it was big enough to put 2 of everything on. And And then this God didn't like the people it created, so it killed all of them and said, okay, Noah, we're going to start over. I said, my gosh, if a mother or father did that, they'd be in jail. Why would God do that? So I said, do you believe that story? She goes, I do, because it's in the Bible. And I went, okay, that was the end of that conversation. But I'm not going to believe it just because something's written. We're going to test it. And what does it mean to love your neighbor as yourself? It doesn't mean only the person who lives next door. Oh, wait, and if they move next door, they better be the same color and the same religion, because otherwise, maybe not so much. So, that's my thought for the day. In order to live in the now, what do we really do to make it wonderful for you, for me, and for everyone on the planet? And here's the poem that I wrote to end it. There is so much power when living in the now, yet it is difficult. My mind wanders. How do I learn, focus, concentrate? What do I do to begin to live in the present? I can do it for a few minutes. Then thoughts start coming here and there, all around me, past, present. Where am I going? What am I doing? I am all over, viewing my life, remembering things, thinking of all the stuff that life brings. Then I take a moment, try to breathe, relax, open up. Receive the blessings that only come from this moment in time. Really matter. They allow us to win, as living in joy comes only from living in the now. Yet the challenge for all is learning how. And so now let's just take a few moments, and would one of you kind people just put a little bit of meditation music? And you will be it. And just get comfortable. And whatever that looks like for you. And put your hands in your lap, in your pockets, wherever it might be. Because we all have a different level of comfort. And take a deep breath. And feel from deep in your heart the essence of your soul being here in this beautiful room with the beautiful music and the beautiful people. Just in the now, in the present moment. And take a breath. How glorious it is to breathe, to be. Just simply to be in the here, in the now. If any thought crosses over about anything other than this moment, just watch it and let it pass. Let it dissipate, float away, and come back to the moment. And feel what it's like. And your body is relaxed, free from tension, free from worry. Just simply soaking up the pleasure of the moment. And to know that any time in your life that you feel stressed or overwhelmed, you can take a moment and take a breath and simply move into the beauty of the now. because it is your gift from your Creator. And so I ask that you begin to become aware of the music. You might want to wiggle your toes and your fingers and gently move your head. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes and focus on something you did not notice before. Thank you. And now, I ask that the ushers come forward. This is our time in our service when we choose to show our infinite gratitude for our many blessings. Please join me in the offertory blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.